Hey, what's going on, everybody? So it's official. If you haven't heard, you're going to hear it pretty soon that Azreal Clary has flipped. And I kind of knew this was going to happen when she had that fight with Jocelyn Savage, and it was cast all over the internet. And I actually wanted to talk about it then, but I was really busy with a bunch of real life stuff, so I couldn't really get to it. But man, she's finally come out and flipped. So she's done an interview with the Sun, and in that interview, she basically alleges that R. Kelly beat her with a shoe. She alleges that R. Kelly forces other women to make child pornography videos. She alleges that R. Kelly forces other women to commit crime so that he can have something to hold over their head. She makes a lot of really crazy accusations in that interview. I don't know if any of that stuff is true. I can't say one way or the other if it's true, but this video is mostly going to be about what the betrayal of Azreal Clary means for R. Kelly, right? I actually did another video that talk about what the betrayal of Jocelyn Savage means for R. Kelly. And for the most part, that video was made because of the bogus Patreon account. It looks to me like Jocelyn Savage is pretty much Team R. Kelly at this point. She's not leaving R. Kelly. And it looks like for now, she's going to stay on the team. But it's actually Azreal Clary who's flipping, and to me, it's kind of surprising because I always thought that Azreal Clary was going to be ride or die, but something must have happened between the three of them that caused Azrael Clary to flip. There's something that we're not seeing. There's something there that's not revealed to us. I could speculate, but you know what? I'm not even going to get into any speculations as to why she's flipping now. All I know is that she's done this interview, and I'll try to post that interview to my account so you can check it out. But that interview may not make it because a lot of times when you post interviews like that, you get copyright violations and it gets blocked by YouTube right away. So the bottom line is that she's flipped and she's making crazy accusations. So let's talk about what this means for R. Kelly. Well, it's obvious what it means. Basically, now the government has yet another potential witness that they can use to try to prosecute R. Kelly. And I read other articles that basically said Azrael Clary wanted to come out and testify, but because she's committed some crimes, allegedly, she was afraid to testify because if she testified, she'd be afraid that she would be prosecuted. Well, I'm not sure how much she knows about the law, but typically what happens in a situation like that is that the government always offers a deal so they can get the big fish. Now, I'm not saying that those articles were legitimate, and I'm not saying that she's going to testify because I really don't know. I have no idea whether or not she's going to testify. But what I do know, what I believe rather, is that now that she's come out and she's done these interviews, and she's saying that R. Kelly beat her with the shoe, and she's making these allegations that R. Kelly forced other women to do child pornography, and he's forced other women to commit crimes and sign documents. That's going to pique the government's interest. I know that for the fact. The government is going to be interested in this type of information, so I don't see how they wouldn't pull her in and or subpoena her and force her to testify. I don't see that how that doesn't happen now, right? I'm not saying that they will, but I just don't see how they won't, right? The only situation where I can see the government not doing this is if they feel they have so much ammunition against R. Kelly that they say to themselves, you know what, we got so much against this guy, we don't need another testimony. Even if they have all the ammunition in the world, or they believe they have all the ammunition in the world against R. Kelly, they're still going to want to get they're still going to want to get Azreal Clary to testify simply because of the logistics of it all. Basically, she was Camp R. Kelly. Now she's not Camp R. Kelly. They want to basically, they're going to want to put her on the stand and try to use her as a token to say, hey, she was a diehard R. Kelly fan. Now she's not, and this is the reason why. They're going to want to do that. They're going to want to use her as as a star witness. She is going to be a star witness. If nothing else, it will be because she was 100% Camp R. Kelly. They're going to basically be able to discredit the Gayle King interviews that she did. By the way, which she alleges that she lied in a Gayle King interview because she was afraid and she was brainwashed. She's also coming out and saying that she was brainwashed. So, in my opinion, none of this doesn't look good. This does not look good for R. Kelly. I think it's devastating, and I'm not trying to be negative. I understand that there are a lot of R. Kelly supporters that come to my channel. I too support R. Kelly, right? Obviously, I don't support the allegations, but I'm not trying to be negative, and I'm not trying to basically paint a picture that makes it look like R. Kelly is going to lose. I'm just having an honest conversation and just seeing things for what it is. And in my opinion, this is not good for R. Kelly. I don't know how he can actually counter this. I think I think the best way for him to have a chance at countering this is that I would have my lawyers, Greenberg in this case, basically sue her right away. She has to be stopped because she's going out and she's doing these interviews. I would have her sue for false allegations, right? If any of this information is false. I don't know if it's false or not, but if it is false, I would sue her right away. This has to happen yesterday. To my knowledge, this interview where she comes out and she makes these allegations has just appeared to sometime this morning. So this needs to be stopped now, right? So she needs to be sued. She needs to be dragged into court, and she needs to have a gag order put on her. And although that may not keep her from talking to the authorities, but it keeps her from doing interviews like this, because you have to understand, one of the most important battles right now, one of the most important fights is the is his image in the public. He has to try to salvage his image. I did a video series that basically talks about the 3 things that R. Kelly can do to walk free. You should go and check that out. And this is going to be something that's going to fall into the category of one of those 3 things, and that's his public image. He needs to stop this. And this won't be the last attack made on him publicly. They're going to bombard him with lots of public announcements. They're going to bombard him with lots more interviews as we lead up to the trial. So, but this is one that I think that he can have a decent chance of trying to stop. And even if he can't stop it, he still has to try. He has to get her into court. He has to sue her and for defamation. If any of this stuff is not true, he has to sue her for defamation of character. Or if there are some truth to some of the things that she's saying, but it paints R. Kelly in a false light, then he has to sue her for false light. But this has to be expedited and it has to be done now. Otherwise, he's going to continue to lose this fight in the public's eye, and it's just not going to be pretty when it comes to trial, right? So leave your questions, comments below. Let me know what you think. Do you think that R. Kelly can do anything about Azreal uh, flipping? Do you think he can protect his public image? Let me know what you think. What would you do right now if you were in R. Kelly's situation?